everyone. Thanks for joining us for our VMware Purchasing Programs webinar. Before we get started, we have a few housekeeping items to take care of. First, we will be recording this session and it will be distributed at the conclusion of this webinar in the follow-up email. Lastly, we want to encourage participation. All questions are anonymous, so if you have any during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen in your Zoom control panel. If we don't get to your questions immediately, we will address it at the end during the Q&A portion of the presentation. That wraps up the announcements. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mike Sarna for introductions.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar series. A little bit about who we are. Angle Point is a global services organization serving the Fortune 500 and others, primarily in the areas of software asset management, licensing, IT compliance, and tooling. We also do some security now as well, since the disciplines of software asset management and security are becoming more closely linked. Anybody who's involved in security understands that you need to know exactly what software is running out there in your environment and what patch levels, et cetera, they're on to see if you have any vulnerabilities. So we like to say we stay in our lane, though. You know, we're a software asset management services company. We service you from end to end. We do not resell licenses, so there's no conflicts there. We are not a reseller, and we don't audit like some companies that are in software asset management. They also audit for some of the big publishers. We try to keep that separate. So let's move to the next slide. So the end-to-end that I was talking about is depicted here. We're organized in service practice areas, focused in the key elements below. SAM program governance. A lot of companies like to start with this. They like to see where they're at, what their processes are, what kind of resources they have. You know, tell me what my current state is. I'll tell you where I want to go and help me get there, type of thing. A lot of customers start off working with something else, some maybe an IBM or an Oracle or a VMware audit that's come up and they need some help there. And then later on say, hey, let me look at the bigger picture now and do a full SAM program. So I know how to plan strategically going forward. SAM managed services, that is where we'll go by publisher usually, but you know, obviously we can do multiple publishers. For example, with IBM, if you want an IBM managed service, we will help you figure out your compliance or effective license position across all of your IBM software. There's some benefits of that now with IBM, but that's not what this presentation's about, so I'll skip over that. Obviously, I mentioned software publisher licensing. We have experts in all of the areas, and we are separated by discipline. So we have IBM licensing experts, Microsoft, Oracle, VMware licensing experts. Jonah, who you're going to hear today, happens to have multiple expertises. Today he'll be talking about VMware. We also work with all of the major tools that are out there. We like to say we're tool agnostic, meaning we're not pushing tools either, right? We're staying in our lane, but most companies, if not all companies, have at least one SAM tool. Many have multiple ones, and they look to us to help them figure out how do we get the most out of the tools that we have. And sometimes they ask us to help them figure out what they need in a tool, and we'll help them do that, but we won't direct them to any specific tool. That's up to the customer. I mentioned security, and there it is. And now we also have added training. We have all the accredited ITAM certification trainings that we offer, And most recently, we have offering mainframe and publisher-specific fundamentals courses, which have come over to us via acquisition of a company that had been offering mainframe training for close to 30 years. Next slide. So there I am, and there's Jonah. I'm going to let Jonah introduce himself, but as I mentioned, he is one of our experts, and he's happens to be expert in a few different publisher areas, and you'll get to witness some of that expertise today as he talks. I'm a VP of Business Development, which means I sell, which means I talk a lot. So I'm looking at my clock, and I'm supposed to keep this to 5 minutes. So I'm going to keep my introduction really short. I've been involved in software asset management since 2000. Formally, before coming to Angle Point, I was at IBM for 11 years and was a business unit executive in charge of their worldwide software asset management program. With that, I will hand it off to Jonah. He'll tell you a little bit about himself and then take you right into the heart of the subject.
All right, thanks, Mike. So a brief introduction for myself. As Mike said, I have a lot of software licensing experience previously to Angle Point. I was with KPMG for about 5 or 6 years as a software auditor, working in obviously the VMware world, along with IBM and Computer Associates. Since KPMG, I like to say I'm a reformed auditor, and now I'm working on the customer side, helping customers manage their software estates, whether at the time of audit, prior, or afterwards, helping them to be in compliance and to maximize or optimize their IT environments from a software perspective. So I've been doing that for over 10 years now. I enjoy the work, and it's exciting to me. So with that, that's a little bit about me. So we'll jump into the presentation. So today, as we know, we're going to be talking about the 7 VMware purchasing programs that they offer. And they break it down to 3 pillars that I've noticed. First being the benefits. And so we want to understand the benefits of each program, why we want to use each program or which program to use. And then the features that each program offers. Some are quite unique to each program. And then, of course, we want to talk about the discount level. So once we understand all 3 of these pillars or these 3 lanes, you should be able to choose the program that is best for your company, your budget, your strategic licensing situations, in order to reap the benefits that are optimal for you guys and for your program. So with that, let's talk about the first program. This is the Enterprise Purchasing Program. Now this is kind of designed for the larger type customer. So your initial deal or your initial purchase under the EPP is a minimum of $250,000. So that's a pretty big chunk of change to start out with. But this provides the customer with a flexible purchasing option to buy tokens. That you take these tokens and they're redeemable for a broad range of products, typically over a 3-year period. That's the typical time period for the EPP deal. Okay, so some of the benefits of the EPP deal. This gives you the ability to mix and match products as you need. You purchase the products as you need them by redeeming the tokens. Another great thing is the price protection. When you sign the EPP deal, you sign at a certain price level, and that's protected during the term of your agreement. So through that, you can realize a lot of cost savings if, for whatever reason, the prices may go up, which they typically do. So you can stay locked in at that term's price and save money, and you'll be able to buy the products as you need them. Let's say 2 years down the road or 2.5 years down the road, your needs change and you need to switch to a different product. Well, you have that flexibility to do that underneath this EPP program using the tokens. Some of the features, one feature that you'll see throughout most of the purchasing program is the My VMware Portal. This portal is pretty cool. It gives you the options to automate and track your licenses so that you know how many that you've purchased or how many you've downloaded. You can use that as part of your entitlement picture. The portal also gives you the option to manage tokens. So you could be centralized or decentralized, depending on how your company's set up. And this allows you to allocate tokens to different departments, projects, users, etc. And as I stated before, the tokens give you the ability to purchase at any time. And of course, you can add tokens at any time to your EPP fund. Discount levels. So the discount levels, there's 4 of them for the EPP. Obviously, the L7 is the lowest, or probably the least discount, going all the way to L10. So that's a 6,000 plus purchase of tokens, which will give you obviously the greatest discount. So in everything we see here, the more you buy, the more you're going to save. So that is the EPP in a nutshell. All right, the next program we want to talk about is the Customer Purchasing Program. Now this one's pretty cool. So the CPP simplifies the purchasing process with your VMware channel partner for purchases more than $25,000. Now the one cool thing about this program is there's no enrollment, there's no purchase tracking, so your discount is determined by your current purchase. So the larger your transaction, the higher discount you get, right? And so like I said before, the benefits, no enrollment and no tracking. And again, the discount is determined by each transaction. Now, some of the cool features, as I said before, that the greater you purchase, the greater your discount. So it's pretty simple. They do have a online calculator to help you determine the discount, and they call that the configurator tool. So you go in there and you put in what license you want to buy and how much you want to buy it, and it'll show you the discount. Of course, that discount is based on the 3 tiers there in the right side, or the right pillar under discount levels. Again, the more points you purchase towards your licenses, the greater discount that you'll receive. And that is the CPP. So the one thing I like about the CPP again is there's no enrollment. All right, so now let's look at the Volume Purchasing Program, or the VPP, okay? All right, so the Volume Purchasing Program provides rewards to customers who are making an initial purchase of $25,000 or more. Now, the one cool thing that I like about this is your organization can also extend these benefits, or these discounts, to your authorized affiliates. So the member and affiliate purchases contribute towards the overall discount level. So this is going to maximize your savings, being able to combine the purchases that the parent and that the authorized affiliates are making. All right. So some of the benefits. Obviously, again, get the volume benefit. The more you purchase, the more you save. And again, like I said before, now you're able to combine the purchases from your affiliates and from the parent company. As always, there's a standardized purchasing program. Some of the features: discount levels are earned automatically based on purchase volumes. There's an easy-to-use online portal, the My VMware Portal again, that help track your discounts. There's also globally consistent program rules that allows discount sharing between customers and their affiliates, which we mentioned before. So that's a pretty neat feature. Now, there have been some changes to the VPP, as some of you may know, that the CPP replaced the VPP, right? So VPP is only available for existing customers, so no new enrollments were accepted after May 6, 2019. Now the discount levels were also frozen on that day. So the new customer purchasing program will be the only option to all VPP L1. So if you look over there in the level 1 customers under discount levels, to L3 customers starting February 2020, all right? So after that, they're gonna be moved off this program. And then the L4s starting February 1st, 2021, so they get another year. Also, one thing to keep in mind with the VPP, because it is being phased out, there's no more accumulation of points for future orders. So what you can use. So the roll-off as I mentioned before, they're starting to roll off their customers. So effective as of February 1st, 2021, that's when the last level 4 customers will be rolled off this program. And again, the discount levels for your reference there on the far right side, the third pillar. All right, so that is the VPP, which will be soon going away. Next, let's look at this transactional purchasing program. So this one is designed for the U.S. federal government customers, and this applies only to the U.S. federal customers. So they make their purchases off the U.S. federal price list through authorized government dealers. All right. So they receive financial incentives in the form of discounts on eligible licensed products when purchased in volume. Again, the more you buy, the more you're going to save. It's a standardized purchasing program as the rest of them. I guess oops, sorry. I had one too many. My mouse got away from me. So again, the discount structure is based on the TPP points. So as you can see in the discount levels on number 3 there, tier 3, the more points you buy, the bigger discounts you get. And there's also no enrollment on all U.S. federal customers eligible. So this one's pretty straightforward. All right, our next one will be the Cloud Credits Purchasing Program. Okay, so this allows customers to buy the public and hybrid cloud services in one transaction and redeem with approved vCloud service providers over time, right? Okay, so the benefits of this program is to reduce the rogue IT spend. And it's going to help curtail cloud sprawl. It's going to improve reporting, security, and compliance. Some of the features is you're able to redeem these credits over time with the approved service provider. So you don't have to use everything that you buy today tomorrow. You can use these credits over the time of your agreement. I believe it's 1 year. The public and hybrid purchase is a single transaction as part of your ELA. So within your ELA, however you're making your purchases, whether it's via a different purchasing program, it's going to be one single transaction. And again, this is going to be managed through your VMware Portal using tokens. As I stated before, you can use these tokens at any time. Now, there's no associated discount level with the Cloud's credit purchasing program, but as we all know, everything's negotiable. So this type of discount will be determined on what you negotiate into your ELA or to whatever type of deal you have with VMware. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is the subscription purchasing program. Okay, so this is where offers the customers a flexible way to acquire SNS in the form of SPP credits. So this is more geared to your subscription and services rather than to buying your licenses, right? So this is going to give you the flexibility to mix and match your configurations. Again, it's going to have the self-service portal reporting through the My VMware Portal. It's also going to allow you to roll over any unused balances. And again, the volume discounts, the more you purchase, the more you're going to save, right? And again, as we know, through the My VMware Portal, it's going to allow you to manage that fund. It's going to give you the flexibility for spending to allow different user groups or different product owners to use the fund as you see fit. And again, it's going to give you that price transparency through the life of your agreement. Now with the SPP, there are 4 discount levels. Obviously, you can see that the discounts don't start until you make a purchase of 250 to 599 credits at a 2% discount, and then anything over 1,000 is a 4% discount. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're purchasing through this program, is to see any type of discount, you need to make that minimum purchase of 250. Okay, and then the last one we want to talk about is the hybrid purchasing program. Okay, Now this one's pretty cool. This is a combination here. This is a combination buying perpetual license and buying VMware subscription, right? So this is this could be a combination of what we just talked about through the SPP and through the EPP, right? So you're able to buy in one transaction your licenses and your SNS. So it's going to simplify your purchases. It's going to help streamline your funding. Another thing cool about it is the SNS proration. So SNS is automatically added to any underlying licenses and is prorated and co-termed to the term of your agreement, which is I think is pretty neat to be able to co-term that with your current agreement. As we said before, this is a single credit with a dual use, meaning the single credit that provides the flexibility to consume both products and services. Okay, it's cloud ready. You got the My VMware Portal. Again, you can scale with ease. And it gives you the flexibility of spending, and again, the price transparency. So it's you can easily track the MSRP cost of all licenses, SNS, and subscription services against your fund balance. Again, there's no assigned discount levels, but as we've talked about before, whatever you can negotiate into your ELA is the type of discount you can see through this hybrid purchasing program. All right. So those are the 7 purchasing programs that VMware offers. And so I really feel that through understanding your purchase requirements and strategy, that's where it really all starts. Understanding your budget, how you spend money, whether it's monthly, yearly, quarterly, whatever it may be. And then the strategy, your VMware strategy going forward, your growth potential, what products you need. Knowing all this will help you determine which program to use. And once you understand this and you understand the programs, that will help you maximize the benefits of rewards that you can reap through these programs. So I think of these as kind of like a different credit card reward programs. Understanding those reward programs and how your purchasing will help you receive that money back or those discounts. So once we understand the programs and we understand your strategy going forward, you can really use these programs to your benefit to get the most reward or the deepest discounts available through VMware for your purchases. All right. So those are the 7 programs, as I mentioned before, and the benefits. VMware. So this recording, as Alex said, this is being recorded, and this will be released tomorrow, along with the VMware blog coming soon. Along with the PowerPoint. And as Mike mentioned before, there's also some angle point trainings coming up for the mainframe. There's also some SAM and ITAM trainings along with the ISO Alliance SAM certifications. So with that, are there any questions from the group?
Hey, Jonah, that was great. I certainly learned a lot about all the different ways that VMware can license its software, and I think it was great the way you laid it out into those three categories. It makes it easy to do a comparative decision-making process. All right, any questions, Alex, that have come through?
So it looks like there's 2 questions that come through in regards to the cloud credits. The first one is, do they expire? They do from the 1 year of data purchase. You have 1 year to use those credits, and then they expire. And then the other one, is there a minimum number of cloud credits you need to buy? So they have different SKUs, right? So the minimum SKU purchase is only 1, but that fund value is 1,000 credits. So in US dollars, that would be $1,000 for 1,000 credits. Okay, and then there was, I see one last question. Are SNS products eligible for the customer purchasing program discounts? So the answer to that would be no. Only licenses are eligible through the CPP program. Good question. All right, those have been some good questions. Thank you for your questions and your participation.
For sure. Thank you, Jonah and Mike, for that great presentation. We want to thank you all for attending and joining us today. If you do have any further questions or would like to connect with Mike or Jonah directly, feel free to contact them through their emails, or you can reach us at info@anglepoint.com or on our website at anglepoint.com. That is it from us. Thank you again for attending, and we will see you again next time. Bye now.